But tonight, word of more arrests in a burglary ring that targeted a DeKalb County neighborhood. Police say the group often operated during the daytime, sometimes on foot, other times stealing cars. Now 7 are in custody, 2 adults and 5 juveniles. Fox 5's Mark Hyman in studio with the latest. Mark.
Well, these guys ripped through houses, turning stuff inside out and going on their merry way. Strangely, in some cases, they left Christmas gifts under the tree while they opted for things like toolboxes and jars of change. And oh yes, what were they thinking? They broke into the home of Fox 5 reporter Doug Richards. They smashed their way into houses, plundered through living rooms and bedrooms, brazenly running down the street in broad daylight.
We noticed this individual was walking just down the street here, and he was kind of jogging actually at one point, and then he saw us watching him and immediately stopped and started walking again.
They stole cars and just about everything else they could get their hands on the last few weeks.
Angry, very angry. You know, how could someone do this, especially around the holidays? It's a little more disconcerting.
In some cases, they left Christmas gifts, opting for other items like jars of loose change.
They left the Christmas presents, they left the electronics, they went for the jars of coins that I had on top of my dresser drawer. In fact, there's a little trail of quarters and dimes dribbled from my upstairs bedroom all the way out the door.
Incredibly, they chose one of our guys to burglarize, Fox 5's Doug Richards, who sadly became the subject of his own 5 o'clock live show.
Here. We were out covering another story today when I got this page from one of our supervisors. The page says, "Burglar caught at your house," says neighbor. You know, they said, you know, this might be an interesting story to tell from a first-person perspective. It might be sort of memorable.
Father Kevin Peak, whose family lives across the street, called 911 and headed for Richard's house.
So my dad came down, and I told him, watch the front of the house, and I went around to the back of the house. And fearing that he might have a gun, you know, I thought, you know, not knowing what was going on or what the situation might be or how desperate he might become.
Father Peak made his way into Doug Richards' backyard and tried to hide himself behind this clay fort, thinking the bad guy was still in the house. Meanwhile, Father Peak's father, Joseph, a former Eastern pilot, maneuvered police helicopters to the neighborhood, on the ground and over the phone.
I called 911. Got a hold of the lady there. I says, get on the line with the guy in the helicopter and tell him to come right.
When police arrived, burglars were spread out everywhere, and poor Richards was left to explain how the burglar managed to elude his home's heavy security system.
We've always known that the house is not exactly Fort Knox. There's a doorknob lock and a deadbolt lock on each door. It looks like the bad guy simply punched through the window and simply grabbed the deadbolt key that hangs about 2 feet away, and then used the key to simply let themselves in.
Have you changed that system yet, have you?
I should, shouldn't I?
I'm thinking he's getting it fixed. Doug is the president-elect of his neighborhood association. I'm guessing we know what will be high up on his agenda at his first meeting. Art?
All right, thanks a lot, Mark.